Pinocchio, the story of the wooden boy. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived an old carpenter named Geppetto. He was kind and hardworking, but he was also very lonely. One day he decided to carve a wooden puppet to keep him company. He carefully shaped the wood into a little boy and gave him a bright smile and a pointy hat. As he finished, he sighed, "Oh, how I wish you were a real boy." That night, a beautiful blue fairy appeared in Geppetto's workshop. She waved her wand over the wooden puppet and said, "Geppetto, because of your kind heart, I will grant your wish. Pinocchio, you shall come to life." With a magical sparkle, the puppet's wooden limbs twitched and his eyes blinked open. He could move, talk, and think. However, the fairy warned him, "Pinocchio, you must prove yourself to be brave, truthful, and unselfish. Only then will you become a real boy." She assigned a small cricket named Jiminy Cricket to be his guide and conscience. "Always listen to your conscience, Pinocchio," she advised. The next morning, Geppetto was overjoyed to see his puppet had come to life. He decided to send Pinocchio to school like a real boy, but on his way, Pinocchio met a cunning fox and a sly cat. "Where are you going, little wooden boy?" the fox asked. "To school," Pinocchio replied. The fox laughed. "Why waste your time with boring school when you can come with us to the puppet theater? You will become famous." Pinocchio hesitated, but he ignored Jiminy Cricket's warnings and followed them. He was soon trapped by the evil puppet master, Stromboli, who locked him in a cage, planning to use him for profit. That night, the blue fairy appeared again. "Pinocchio, why did you disobey?" she asked. Ashamed, Pinocchio tried to lie, saying he was kidnapped. But as soon as he spoke, his wooden nose grew longer. "Every time you lie, your nose will grow," the fairy warned. She freed him, reminding him to be truthful. Pinocchio promised to be good, but soon he was tempted again. This time, he followed a boy named Lampwick to Pleasure Island, a place where children could play and do whatever they wanted. However, there was a terrible secret. Naughty boys were turned into donkeys. Pinocchio watched in horror as Lampwick transformed into a donkey. Realizing his mistake, Pinocchio ran away before he could fully change. He jumped into the sea only to be swallowed by a giant whale. Inside the whale's belly, he found Geppetto, who had been searching for him. "Father, I'm so sorry," Pinocchio cried. Using their wits, they escaped by making the whale sneeze. When they finally returned home, the blue fairy appeared one last time. "Pinocchio, you have shown bravery, honesty, and love for your father. You have proven yourself worthy." With a touch of her wand, Pinocchio transformed into a real boy. Geppetto hugged him with tears of joy. From that day on, Pinocchio lived as a real boy, always listening to his conscience and never straying from the right path. And so they lived happily ever after.